Imagine stepping into what should be your perfect getaway, a cozy Airbnb promising relaxation and escape, only to uncover a nightmare lurking in the shadows. What if the walls held secrets darker than you could ever imagine? Welcome back to Dark True Stories, the channel where we dive deep into the real-life horrors that happen to ordinary people. I'm your host, Alex Thorne, a seasoned journalist and storyteller with over a decade of experience unearthing the chilling truths that keep you up at night. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a tale that blurs the line between everyday life and the macabre. We've got over 1 million subscribers joining us for these gripping narratives. Why not make it one more? Let's get into today's double feature. 2 bone-chilling true Airbnb horror stories that will make you think twice before booking your next stay. Part 1. Introduction and the first horror story, the dead host discovery. Our first story comes from a couple we'll call Sarah and Bari, not their real names for privacy reasons. Sarah is the epitome of organization. She thrives on schedules, checklists, and everything in its place. Bari, on the other hand, is more laid back, the kind of guy who might pack for a trip 5 minutes before heading out the door. But they've always balanced each other out, respecting one another's quirks. That harmony made what happened on their seemingly innocent weekend getaway feel like a brutal betrayal of trust. It all started with a simple plan. No exotic adventure, no international flight, just a 3-hour drive from the city to a quaint little town nestled around serene lakes and winding creeks. You know the type, the kind of hidden gem that pops up in your social media feed with stunning drone shots, whispering promises of tranquility. Yeah, Sarah thought as she scrolled, we could use a long weekend to recharge. So they made it happen. Bari suggested the spot, and Sarah, ever the planner, handled the booking. She chose an Airbnb that looked straight out of a lifestyle magazine, pristine white interiors, warm Edison bulb lighting, and a charming fire pit in the backyard. The listing boasted it was just a short walk to the river, perfect for lazy strolls and picnics. Sarah did her due diligence, cross-checked reviews, verified the host's profile, and ensured the lockbox code arrived without issue. The confirmation email assured them the place had been recently cleaned and fully reset for your arrival. Reset like hitting refresh on a web page, erasing any trace of previous guests. It sounded reassuring, almost clinical. The drive was uneventful, a peaceful cruise along 2-lane roads flanked by flat farmland and occasional clusters of trees. They even spotted actual cows grazing lazily in the fields, adding to the rustic charm. To kill time before check-in, they stopped at a roadside diner about 15 minutes from the house, savoring simple comforts like hot soup and gooey grilled cheese sandwiches. It felt like a preview of their relaxed getaway, like they were already slipping into vacation mode. As they finally pulled into the neighborhood, an eerie quiet settled over everything. No children playing on bikes, no neighbors mowing lawns or washing cars, just silence. The house sat at the end of a cul-de-sac, shrouded by tall hedges and a weathered wooden fence that separated the backyard from the world. But what immediately caught Sarah's eye was the car parked at the curb, a sleek silver sedan, far newer and shinier than anything else on the street. Yet it was covered in a light dusting of dirt, with pine needles clinging to the windshield like it hadn't moved in days. "You think someone's still here?" Sarah asked, her voice laced with unease. Bari shrugged it off with his usual nonchalance and stretched as he got out of the car. But Sarah couldn't let it go. She's the type who triple-checks locked doors at night if she hears the slightest creak from the air vents. She pulled up the Airbnb app, scanning the reservation details, dates, address, check-in instructions, all correct. There was even a backup email from the host about the key in the lockbox. Still, doubt gnawed at her. She called customer service, and after a short hold, a representative confirmed everything was in order. "The host cleared out earlier this week," the woman said breezily. "Sometimes guests get picked up and leave cars behind. No worries, you're good to go." Reassured but not entirely convinced, Sarah hung up. By then, Bari was already at the porch. The lockbox opened easily, revealing a single tarnished brass key, old school with ridges worn from years of use. Bari held it up triumphantly and slid it into the door. It creaked open, unveiling a living room that matched the photos perfectly. Neutral tones, abstract wall art, and a faux fireplace with glowing logs. It was designed to feel welcoming yet impersonal, like a blank canvas for guests. Sarah stepped inside cautiously. The air wasn't stale, but it wasn't fresh either, like windows had been flung open earlier that day and hastily shut again. Bari called out a cheerful hello, as if they were visiting friends, but only the soft whir of a ceiling fan and the tick of a wall clock answered. They hauled in their bags and cooler, exploring room by room. Kitchen, dining area, guest bedroom, bathroom. Everything appeared spotless. Sarah kept bracing for a red flag. A stray sock, a dirty dish, a jammed door, but nothing jumped out. Yet something felt off. The staging was too impeccable, too reconstructed, as if someone had meticulously pieced it back together rather than just cleaned. Sarah tried to shake the paranoia as Bari lugged the cooler into the kitchen. She wandered down the hallway, but moments later, his voice cut through the quiet, sharp and urgent. "Babe, you gotta see this." She hurried back to find him staring into the open fridge. It wasn't empty, it was overflowing. Fresh milk, deli meats, a crammed vegetable crisper, bottles of beer, even a wrapped cheesecake on the top shelf. Sarah checked the labels, nothing expired. This stock-up had happened recently, within days. "This isn't ours, is it?" Bari asked, though they both knew the answer. "Did you order groceries?" No, Sarah hadn't. And it couldn't be leftovers from prior guests. The food was too fresh. Her mind raced. She messaged the Airbnb's real-time guest support describing the stocked fridge. 15 minutes later, a reply pinged. "Oh no, thanks for letting us know. Honest mistake, the owner must have left it by accident. The home is definitely vacant though. You're all clear to settle in. Enjoy your stay." No apology, just a casual brush-off that did nothing to ease Sarah's growing dread. Bari, unfazed, cracked open a soda from the fridge and headed back to the car for more bags. Sarah pressed on, checking the guest bedroom. It was pristine. Queen bed made with military precision, suitcase stand folded neatly in the corner, lamp on the nightstand. The adjoining bathroom glowed under a high window, scented with lemon cleaner. But then she spotted them. 6 orange prescription bottles lined up on the back of the toilet like silent sentinels. She picked one up, hydrocodone 10 mg. The name was smudged, but the date was recent, just a week old. The others were similar: painkillers, anti-nausea meds, sleeping aids. Beside them sat a thick manila envelope stuffed with paperwork from a regional cancer center, billing info, treatment plans, chemo schedules, home care notes, radiation prep. These weren't old files, they were current, active. Sarah's stomach twisted as the implications sank in. "Bari," she called out. That's when his scream pierced the air, short, raw, pure panic. She bolted down the hall to the master bedroom where Bari stood frozen in the doorway. Pushing past him, she froze too. There on the carpet lay a body, a male adult face down. His skin was a sickly gray-green, bloating in spots. The stench hit like a wave, oily, metallic, sour, the early stages of decomposition. His fingers clawed at the floor, arms outstretched toward the door as if he'd been desperately crawling for help. His clothes were damp with old sweat and waste, the back of his shirt stained deep maroon from leaked fluids. One leg twisted unnaturally beneath him, like it had buckled mid-escape. Bari backed away, gagging, while Sarah's mind pieced it together. The full fridge, the meds, the abandoned car outside. The Airbnb's assurance that the host had cleared out a week ago. "He didn't leave," Sarah whispered, numb. "He was always here." Bari, doubled over in the hallway, didn't respond. Sarah stepped carefully around the horror, checking the dresser, still full of men's clothes, underwear, socks, t-shirts. The nightstand held a plugged-in charger, an open wallet with a license visible, same last name as the host. This was him, the owner who'd supposedly prepped the house. He died trying. Part 2. The first story's climax and resolution. Transition to the second story. They fled the room. Bari called Airbnb again, packing frantically. "Yeah, we just found a body." "No, a body. In the house you said was clean and empty. This isn't like the fridge, this is a man's corpse rotting in the back bedroom." Sarah stood in the kitchen, staring blankly at the counter, her thoughts aligning like dominoes. The unchecked property, the dismissive support reps, the negligence that turned a vacation into a crime scene. Police arrived within 30 minutes, 2 cruisers, no fanfare. The first officer entered the bedroom, inhaled and recoiled, hand over nose. They ushered Sarah and Bari outside while paramedics suited up. Bari chain-smoked cigarettes in silence. Sarah clutched her phone, ignoring the sudden silence from Airbnb's reps once police and dead body entered the chat. An older detective arrived, lean, deliberate, with a gray mustache and mirrored sunglasses. He questioned Sarah first. "Know the deceased, ma'am?" "No." "Ever been here before?" "No." "Touch anything?" she admitted, flipping through the papers. He noted it all. As the body was zipped into a black bag and wheeled out, the outline barely human, the smell lingered like a curse, seeping into their clothes and souls. They questioned Bari next, his answers curt. The cops took photos of their IDs, verified the reservation, and let them go after statements, sensing their trauma. But before they left, the detective said something haunting. "We had no reports of this man missing. No wellness checks. Nobody called. As far as anyone's concerned, he was still alive until you opened that front door." Sarah nodded, thinking, he probably had no one left to care. They drove to a nearby Super 8, its lobby reeking of disinfectant and stale coffee. In the stiff bed, TV muted, shoes still on, Bari finally spoke. "What if we hadn't gone into that room? What if we spent the weekend sleeping next door while he rotted down the hall?" Sarah had no answer. She'd thought the same. The next morning, Airbnb emailed. Apology for the inconvenience, full refund, escalation to safety team, even a free future stay. Sarah deleted it all, uninstalled the app. The horror wasn't malice, just deadly negligence. A man died alone, undiscovered, while a company rubber-stamped bookings without a glance. But folks, that's just the first tale. Stick around because our second story ramps up the paranoia even further. Imagine not a dead host, but a living one, sneaking in while you're away, rifling through your belongings, turning your sanctuary into a trap. This one comes from a guy we'll call Alex, a tech professional from New York craving a break from the February slush and subway grind. He booked a 6-day trip to LA for a 3-day conference, planning to extend it into a coastal vacation. Reset that word again. The Airbnb was a sleek modern bungalow in Venice Beach. Hardwood floors, full kitchen, queen bed, desk by a picture window overlooking the vibe. Perfect for work sessions by day, boardwalk adventures by night. Maybe even some casual encounters. Hubba hubba, as Alex joked to himself. Landing at Lax went smoothly. Uber driver knew the shortcuts. Check-in was seamless. Lockbox code worked, key inside. He arrived around 2 p.m. and the place matched the photos, clean, bright, citrus-scented with a hint of fresh paint. Alex unpacked immediately, a habit born of compulsion. Roller bag and backpack emptied into drawers, laptop and camera on the desk, wallet and keys on the counter. No personal clutter from the host, exactly how he liked it. This was his space now. The first few days were routine. Early conference starts, late returns, deep sleeps. He snapped Sunset Beach photos, earning compliments on his gear. But as the schedule loosened on day 3, subtle anomalies crept in. Doors ajar that he'd sworn he'd closed. Items slightly out of place. At first, Alex dismissed it as imagination, jet lag maybe. It started with the bathroom door. Post-shower, he'd closed it to trap the steam shirts hanging inside. But returning that night to brush his teeth, it stood wide open, not nudged, fully agape. Draft, he rationalized. Windows were cracked. Then the bedroom closet. He avoided using it to prevent forgetting items, but one morning after a beach walk, the bifold doors were pushed inward as if someone had slipped in for a quick grab. He stared, then opened it, empty, luggage untouched. But the seed of doubt sprouted. That night, the peanut butter jar sat on the counter, lid off, spoon beside it. He hadn't touched it since unpacking groceries. The feeling hit. Someone had been here, not thinking, knowing. Part 3. The second horror story's escalation, confrontation, and conclusion. Paranoia escalated. Next day, Alex photographed everything before leaving. Wide shots of rooms, time-stamped. He arranged tells. A dish towel folded precisely on the oven handle, charger coiled just so on the nightstand. Out for lunch, he returned to changes. Towel sloppier, charger recoiled differently, peanut butter moved to the pantry. The silence felt wrong, watchful, expectant, like the house was holding its breath. That night, Alex went full detective. He propped his phone on the entry table, aimed at the front door, recording video at 100% battery. He ordered an Uber via app, no real plans, just bait. Locked up, climbed in, asked for a loop around the block, tipped extra, then ducked out on Pacific Avenue. Heart pounding, he circled back via alley, crouching behind a hedge with street view. There it was, a dark blue SUV in the driveway, nondescript, no front plates. He snapped a photo. Approaching stealthily, the front door was cracked. Listening, soft footsteps inside, a cupboard creaking. He burst in, following sounds to the kitchen. A middle-aged man rummaged the fridge, thinning hair, puffy face, white hoodie and jeans. The man turned, freezing. "Whoa, whoa, you scared me, man." "Who the F are you?" Alex demanded flatly. "I'm the owner, this is my house." "No, it's not. Not right now, I rented it through Sunday." "Right, I know, I just left some stuff, figured while you were out." "Bullshit, you've been here the whole time." The man edged toward the door, casual. "Look, I didn't touch anything, just grabbing a few things." "Don't move. My phone's recording, I saw your car, you've been coming and going." The mask slipped, calculation in his eyes. Alex dialed 911, calling the cops. "Hey, come on, that's not necessary, I'm not dangerous. This is my place." "You went through my shit. I'm missing $500 from my luggage and my laptop." The man muttered, "Look, you don't need to call, I'll give it back." Too late. He spun like he might run, but Alex blocked the door. Cops arrived minutes later. Alex showed the video. They searched the bag, laptop wrapped in a sweatshirt, cash with Alex's initials marked on bills, a travel habit from past thefts. The officers didn't cuff him but escorted him out, warning no return. "Not technically trespassing, he owns it, no force used," one explained. "But Airbnb complaint will make charges stick. Send that video." Hands shaking post-adrenaline, Alex barricaded himself in. Chair under doorknob, lights on, suitcase by window. Sleep evaded him, ears straining for tires or footsteps. Morning called Airbnb, detailed everything. They didn't push back, requested video, photos, police report. By day's end, full refund, account credit, host suspended permanently. This wasn't his first complaint, the rep admitted. "Sorry it escalated like this." Alex finished at a boutique hotel, cramped but secure. No creeps in the kitchen. He still uses Airbnb, most hosts are fine, company made it right. But now, he photographs everything, marks bills, triple locks doors. These stories remind us, behind polished listings lurk human flaws, negligence, desperation. Have you had a creepy rental experience? Share in the comments, we might feature it. If this chilled you, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Thanks for joining Dark True Stories. Stay safe out there and remember, sometimes the scariest horrors are the ones we walk right into. See you next time.